All right. Thank you all for coming out to the Wyatt Detention Center on this summer day. We appreciate your presence. So I just want to call attention to a few things. There's some hot drink on the corner over there. If anybody wants to get some, feel free to grab a banner, a flag, whatever we got. And yeah, today we're gonna have a small, short speaking part. We're gonna talk about why we're here, and then we're gonna make some noise. And so hopefully, you're ready for that. We're gonna walk this way and make some noise to the folks that are detained on this side of the building, and then we're gonna come back around and we're gonna walk this way and make some noise to the folks detained over here. And then after that, that's what we're doing today. So thank you everybody for coming. All right. My name is Sophia. My pronouns are they, them. I'm here with the Amor Network, and we're here because every year we want to make some noise to let folks know inside that we are here to support them, that we are here, and we do not, we're not going to put up with the type of treatment, the inhumane treatment that's going on inside this detention center. So, all right, here goes my speech. We gather here outside the Wyatt because we recognize that U.S. imperialism is grounded in white supremacy, settler colonialism, and capitalism. We understand that the same dehumanizing policies that led to the detention and imprisonment of people here in the U.S. are also woven into the fabric of the U.S. war machine. So we stand here today to continue our call to shut down the Wyatt and to demand an end to the genocide in Gaza, an end to the occupation of Palestine, and an end to the U.S. war machine. As of November of this year, the number of people under ICE detention at the Wyatt nearly doubled to 114 detainees, bringing the total population of folks detained at this inhumane facility to 724 people. We know that with the upcoming administration change, more folks will be cycled through this facility. To that we say, no more detention, no more deportation, free them all. Earlier this month, we received reports from folks detained at the Wyatt of ongoing medical neglect, unsanitary conditions, the withholding of due recreation time. Shame. Shame. Folks reported dehumanizing, anti-immigrant, and xenophobic attitudes amongst Wyatt staff, and being denied access to urgent medications. Shame. To top it off, folks reported fear of being placed on 24-hour lockdown for speaking out. Solitary confinement is torture. Shame. Shame. We know that this culture of dehumanization and neglect is deadly. In 2008, as a direct result of medical neglect and abuse by prison officials, Hulu Jason Ng, a migrant from China held in ICE detention at the Wyatt, was killed. Oh, shame. The reports we have heard from folks detained at the Wyatt are eerily similar. It makes it clear that not much has changed since 2008. Shame. We're demanding an end to the ICE contract at the Wyatt and that the facility be shut down. Woo! No more abuse, no more detention. We understand that border violence is not limited to where two countries meet. Detention centers are locations of border politics where asylum seekers and immigrants are sent directly from the U.S. border. Policies at the border directly affect what happens inside detention centers in the interior of the U.S., just as much as they do at the border. In fact, the current contract that the Wyatt has with ICE is a direct result of 2018 Trump border policies via the Southwest Border Zero Tolerance Initiative. That is why we're gathering at the Wyatt to continue to demand its closure and an end to the unrelenting expansion of immigrant detention and prison infrastructure across the United States. Woo! While we gather together, we will also continue our call for a ceasefire and an end to the occupation of Palestine. These issues are inextricably linked. For Palestinian U.S. citizens struggling to leave Gaza, who receive little to no assistance from this government, to Palestinians in the U.S. who are fighting for temporary protective status, to folks who would seek asylum if a pathway were created. The U.S. turns a blind eye. For Palestinians seeking asylum who have passed through this very detention facility. Shame. Shame! We see common cause with our call to shut down the Wyatt and our call for an end to the genocide and occupation. U.S. foreign policy driven by capitalist forces has created the conditions for these calls. Time and again, the U.S. has demonstrated its commitment to sowing chaos in governments across the world in order to steal land and natural resources to fuel private industry and profits. The unrelenting war machine built to secure U.S. interests in Africa, the Middle East, Asia, the Pacific, South and Central America. We understand that the unrelenting commitment of the United States to wage war for the sake of oil, natural gas, cobalt, and other natural resources is not only leading to a catastrophic humanitarian crisis in Gaza, but is also leading to the rapid escalation of the climate crisis. Shame. Shame! These wars are entrenched in a specific shade of hate, one that sees Black and brown people as inhuman, disposable, unworthy collateral, and that prioritizes the lives of white people of all nationalities. This prison is the system that enacts the dehumanization of migrants and U.S. citizens alike, disproportionately locking up people of color, descendants of colonized nations, people from occupied territories, descendants of enslaved peoples, people whose homelands have been steeped in conflict funded and sown by the United States. Shame. So when we call to shut down the detention center, we are calling for a destruction of the arms of the U.S. empire. We are calling for a dismantling of the U.S. war machine, the machine that seeks to control everything and everyone that it sees as a threat. Not a threat to human lives, but rather as a threat to profit. We stand here to say enough. Enough! We're here as a part of a tradition of holding noise demos at the New Year's Eve to show solidarity with the people inside. We make noise to remind people inside that they are not forgotten, that in the new year we will continue to push to dismantle this system and free them all to shut down the Wyatt. Now, I want to hand it out to my comrade and folks struggling right now to demand an end to the genocide in Gaza. Is Reem here? Almost? All right, come on up, Reem. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hello. I'm so sorry, it's hard to prepare for today. While we're standing here and feeling the nippy cold in our warm clothing, I cannot help but think of the people in Gaza right now that are right by the water, that are flooded, that are frozen. 6 babies have been killed in 24 hours the past week because of the freezing cold. They could not withstand the cold, and they are dead. They have been killed. Shame. Here in America, in this great country of America, while we stand here in front of this prison that I've never even known existed here, because the prison I am familiar with is in Cranston. In the great country of America, which has one of the highest numbers of people in prison in the world. So we are leaders in a lot of things, including killing of innocent people overseas. Leaders in asking not to stop a war or a genocide that has been happening for a year and a half. And we lead the world in the number of prisoners in our prison system. Shame! Not only that, we are continuously helping genocidal countries like Israel detaining, killing, raping, abusing people that are innocent. And let me tell you, innocent or not, no one should be treated that way.
No one!
A year ago, we were standing in downtown Providence while everybody was celebrating the New Year's. Well, I want to say Happy New Year to the people who are counting down tonight while the people in Gaza are counting down martyrs. They're counting down the number of people under the rubble. They're counting down the number of babies freezing every single day. 5 people in the past 24 hours have been killed from torture in Israeli prisons. This is on the Gaza side. Never mind the West Bank side, because we all know the numbers have gone up astronomically since October 7th. There were 5,000 people in Israeli prisons in the West Bank before October 7th. Now they're up to 9,000 hostages. Shame. We have gotten proof that these people are being tortured. People are being tortured to death, and nothing new to us Palestinians. We've always known of the rape that happens, but now it is out there and every single person knows about it. Shame. I look around me and there is a little more than a handful of people out here where there should be so many more.
Yup.
Let me tell you something. The people in there do not deserve to be in there, because we all know many of them are immigrants, but we all know a lot of them need help in so many different ways. I know that firsthand from a very close family member who spends his time in prison because he's mentally ill. The U.S. would rather put them in prison than put them in a place that will help them. But this is the country that thrives on people's blood, thrives on people's sweat, and we must end it all.
That's right.
We're all out here for all of our prisoners in the U.S. This imperialist system that sickens me and should sicken every single human being in the world. Free our prisoners in Rhode Island, free our prisoners in the U.S., free our prisoners in apartheid Israel, free Dr. Hussam Abu Sofia before they abuse him some more. And thank you so much for being out here. When people are celebrating, you are fighting. Free, free Palestine! 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 Free, free our prisoners! 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 Thank you.
All right, and I'm gonna have one more speaker to come up. I'm gonna welcome another comrade. Start.
Hi everyone. I had a whole speech ready from the help of a friend, but I don't want to, say the same things because we all know what needs to be said. This prison right here includes federal prisoners, prisoners that are here through the federal government and through ICE. It costs about $200 a day to keep a prisoner here, up to $70,000 a year, depending on whatever. So we have an immigrant here, detained through ICE, up to $70,000 that's costing the state of Rhode Island. That is a shame, because that person that came, that human, I should say, that came here to the United States is coming here to work. Pennies to the dollar. To do what? To send money home to help his or her family, his or her family, back home, which boosts the economy, whether it's Mexico or whatever country they're coming from when they crossed over illegally. And people there thank the U.S., and I know this through a class that I took, are grateful to the U.S. because their economy is boosting, their roads are being built, their schools are improving, because their family members here in the United States working pennies to the dollar to send back home to make sure that their family back home is having a better life. But what do? They catch them, they detain them, and they imprison them. And I don't have much knowledge about this particular detention center, but I do know that there is much neglect here, particularly with the immigrants. My name is Starek Zaza. I am from Damascus, Syria, and Syria has now been liberated. And to know that, and to know the prisoners in Syria, I've had family murdered in Saydnaya. I've had cousins butchered and brutally attacked and squashed and mutilated in Saydnaya. And now the fall of the Assad regime, they're gone. I don't want to swear, so. Next, Palestine. So we have to intertwine this with Palestine, the Palestinian people, and the people here, the immigrants that are here. They are treated like animals. They are tortured, starved, shot. They are not allowed access to medical, to food. And now I'm looking earlier and I see half staff here, and I'm wondering who this is for. Is it for the president that recently died? Yeah. Or is it for, it probably is, or is it for someone that passed away in there? Because that should be half staff every time a detainee passes away in one of these detention centers. Do you not agree? Yeah. So, from Wyatt in Central Falls to Palestine, we need to keep standing up. We need to be out here. We need to shut these places down that are not humane. They don't treat people humanely in here. And I say this with knowledge from Saydnaya prison of knowing what can happen behind closed doors. None of us will ever know. None of us will ever know what actually goes on behind there, particularly Palestinian prisoners, particularly immigrants, particularly black and brown people. So, what are we going to do? We're going to make some noise. We're going to shut this place down. We're going to shut down Israel. We're going to shut down the imperialist, colonial, the United States that is funding all of this genocide. There's genocide here. There's genocide in Palestine. So we're going to say, free the immigrants at the Wyatt Center. Free the Palestinians. Free Gaza. This is a new beginning. 2025 will begin, and we need to be louder, stronger, more unified. And I will be out here with you as much as I can, every single time that I can. And free Palestine. Free Palestine. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And I just want to name for us, the Amor Community Response Team has been trying to get people access to commissary funds, and we've been fundraising. And through that, we were able to get in touch with somebody who was detained here who was from Palestine. So when we talk about who's inside, it's not just folks coming from the southern border or the northern border, although we see a lot of folks who are picked up in Canada who are coming from, or on the border with Canada and are brought here. It's folks from all over, and it's asylum seekers, and they're people who are refugees and who are just trying to find a safe place. And can you imagine to be going through what you're going through in Palestine, to only to become here and then to be brought to this place? Shame. And that's why we're here, because we know these things are related, right? We know that folks that are losing access to their land, their agriculture, their healthy foods, their own governments that are being overturned by U.S. imperialism. We know that these detention centers are holding all of those folks. Folks who come here to seek a better life, to support their families. So thank you all for coming out. And so we're gonna start our noise making portion of the program. So, all right. So get your noisemakers out, and we're gonna start with some chants. You want to take it away, Nika?
Yeah, I
all
can
right.
take it away.
Yeah, how you doing? Oh, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in ever. It's great to see you. Glad you're doing well. You look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.